Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at PayPal, and this is a bit more of a tricky chart because I could easily count this as a 5-wave move to the upside in a wave 1. I could count it as an ABC in 3 waves to the upside in a wave 1, but then there's also this impeding issue of the movement to the downside that could easily be seen as a 5-wave move. And while it is grim in that aspect, we did hold support in the white support zone that goes down to the $50 level, and not only did we hold, we also created a reaction to the upside. Now on the other side of this end, we formed this reaction in 3 waves only, and that is not something really desirable. When we form 3 waves to one side, it could be that it's just one correction that completed. In this case, it could be the wave B in yellow, and we could be heading directly lower to the downside in a C wave in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would then complete the wave C. Now, this doesn't mean, even if we break the support zone here in white, this doesn't mean doom. It just means that we may retrace a lot lower within this correction, and yes, there is the risk that this is something much more bearish that takes us to new all-time lows, but it could also be just an extended correction that takes us maybe somewhere around this area of levels. But for now, we could still be looking for at least another move to the upside, and in either case we could have an ABC pattern in white. As it is presented in white, we could have the start of a leading diagonal here in a wave 1, 2, and then 3, but then this third wave would be rather just another ABC pattern that would develop, although it would be probably much larger if it's really a third wave. And then, yeah, of course, with the third we get the fourth and the fifth, and we form overall a larger 5-wave move to the upside, but it would be in a leading diagonal, which means that each of the subwaves within the leading diagonal is in 3 waves pattern, except the fourth wave that could be a triangle, but let's not focus too much on that. And then here we have, to continue the good and the bad, we have to the downside, unfortunately, what could easily be counted as a 5-wave move, and I really do see this as a 5-wave move in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then on the other bright side, we also got what could be very possibly a 5-wave move to the upside, and then it would be a leading diagonal, but we could be looking in this case for support here in the green support zone between $69.5 down to around $60.3 level. And as long as we hold this support zone, I am still looking to push higher, but as long as we stay below the resistance zone in yellow between $72.3 up to around $83.8, I also am looking for a larger 1-2 pattern that is developing to take us even lower. Now, I also introduced on this chart this time this orange interpretation, and it's just a slight difference from the yellow scenario, because in the yellow scenario I want to be tracking this C wave that still pushes higher to the upside, and in this orange scenario is just one small slight difference from the yellow scenario. It's the idea that this wave 2 already completed here, and that this might have been some sort of a different movement. Maybe it was a WXY pattern that developed and completed the wave 2. Now, to the downside here, ever since we formed this top, it seems we have created a 5-wave move to the downside. This looks very much like a regular impulse here, and I could either consider this a wave 1 in orange or a wave A that could be either part of the wave 2 in white or the wave B in yellow. And after that, normally after a 5-wave move, we expect at least a retracement in a wave B or a wave 2, doesn't matter, and that should find in this case resistance between the level at $25 up to around $76.54. And the probabilities say, as with all the other retracements in this area, the yellow and the green, that as long as we stay below the 78.6% retracement level, the probabilities suggest further continuation to the downside. Now, this happens to be orange, but realistically, I would rather make it green because it is part of the larger correction here. I am overall looking to go lower within this green support zone, even if it is not in the third wave to the downside in orange. So for now, we need to be overall very cautious on this chart because the risk is quite high. It's not the prettiest chart, not my most recommended chart to entry to trade. I cover plenty of stocks that have better opportunities and better overall setups, but nonetheless, this is still quite a plausible setup to form at least here an ABC pattern with another move to the upside that could take us reasonably high. I would give you a target, and actually I will give you a target in this case. If we hold the 50% retracement level here and don't form another low, I could be looking at the $82.8 level, maybe at the $88 level, at the 78.6% extension. A break to the 100% extension would actually invalidate the yellow scenario, and not necessarily completely, but I would then say that we are either following the white scenario in which we reset this wave B to the upside, or we could form something more bullish that could have overall long time implications that are generally more bullish, and we could push directly higher without making any new lows in this area. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.